When I was in the wound care area getting my leg taken care of from a horse fall, I was talking to the nurses and they were talking about how hard it was to have child care. There was like a 2-year waiting list at that time. I said, oh, well, that's too bad, And she said, yeah, she says, because now we have to, if we can't get a family member to watch our child, then we can't go to work. And then it puts a strain on those that are there working.
We've actually lost a lot of employees over the years because of the lack of childcare. Very talented, educated, skilled healthcare workers have had to choose to stay home.
When I started, there was no daycares in town that would take your kid for 12 hours. And so parents really struggle. I had been on the wait list about 3 years for my firstborn. We waited, and then my 1.5-year-old, I was pregnant with him and got him on the wait list. And it was a little shy of 3 years when we finally got in.
Pete's Place has always been a benefit that we're happy to offer, but we could never offer it to the extent that we wanted to. The money to create the Learning Center was still an issue. And that's when the Zinn stepped in.
Well, I'm retired from my occupation. I was the CEO of a semiconductor company in Silicon Valley, and I began writing books about leadership and entrepreneurship, and so that's been what I've been doing since I sold the company in 2015. I've never been involved in fundraising or philanthropy in a hospital. I mean, it never dawned on me until we met with Stephen Mason, and he explained how it's difficult to still provide good health care without some help from the community.
I told my husband, I said, that's one thing that I really feel that we need to get involved in is the Pete's Place, because I can see how that will be more beneficial in retaining the employees.
So I was introduced to DeLona, such a lovely, lovely human. I got to meet her over at the original Pete's Place. She got to see what kind of a small environment we lived in.
The amount of room they have for stuff. I mean, they had every square inch of the walls covered in learning or kids' artwork. All their pockets were stacked vertically because they actually didn't have the space to do anything horizontally because it was so compact.
I was invited to go visit the Pete's Place. And when I went there, I couldn't believe how much they were doing in such a small little space. And I met Brandy, and she was, you could tell she absolutely loved what she was doing. She loved the children, she loved the people that she was working with, and she was all smiles and everything was upbeat.
Without the Zinns, we were able to provide for about 40 children. With the Zinn's donation, we've been able to increase that to 180, so quadrupled, a little more than quadrupled the number of kids.
I was amazed at the room and the capacity that they have to be able to help more people, have more children there. And Brandy, man, she just loves everything she's doing. You could tell that. She's a wonderful person.
I was studying finance and entrepreneurship at Carroll. My second year, I was able to meet Ray and DeLona. There was the goal for Zinn Starter to bring that entrepreneurial spirit to Carroll. Their dedication to colleges around the nation is incredible, and they're instilling that drive into the next generation. I would not be where I am without the Zinns. A lot of people are laying around on a beach in retirement, and that's not the Zinns.
I don't know if we made a difference. I know that St. Peter's has made a difference in childcare. We're just a facilitator. We're just helping. They wanted to name the facility after us, and I said, no, I want a facility named after us because I don't want the accolades of that. My wife and I don't want to promote ourselves. We want to promote Pete's Place. So they wanted to name the gym after us. I was reluctant to let them do that, but they insisted. So yeah, we let them name the gym after us. And
the name's cool. The Zinn Gym, right? If you know anything about Ray's history, this was an athletic guy, right? And a gymnast and those. So I thought it just fit great. I think it's great. Yeah. And we appreciate his willingness to oblige, putting his name on it. Having the opportunity to not only just be learning during the day on curriculum and material, but also to be able to expend all the energy they have. It is so impressive.
We don't want to receive any accolades or pats on the back for what we've done. That credit goes to the Lord, not to us as individuals. We have that responsibility to help. Assuming that responsibility is what was important. We hope we can encourage others to help.
To be able to provide a child care facility so outstanding, I just want to thank them completely from the bottom of our hearts.
Well, we helped do it. We didn't do it all by ourselves. There are a lot of people involved in that. We were a part of it. And I'm so glad that we were a part of it and that we are a part of it.
Having the Zinns do things like the fireworks show, it creates that sense of community.
It started out as a family thing. We'd invite the family to get together, and so we just started small, just putting on a little fireworks show to get the family to come to the ranch, and it kept growing, and we invited the neighbors, and then it just started spreading to our church. We opened it up to the entire community about 3 or 4 years later, and we've been doing it since 2005.
Every year, the fireworks on the 4th with the whole family is a highlight. To be able to just sit in that setting and feel true appreciation and gratitude for all that we get to enjoy in our country and in our community with good people.
I don't know the reason why people donate to these daycares, but without them, I wouldn't be here. So, yeah, it's a huge thank you to all of the donors who do that and let this be a thing.
I donated because having not had childcare, me wishing that I had that when I was earlier in my career, and knowing that it's really important for staff for longevity and get the people, and just so that any staff, whether they work with me or not, just feels comfortable and doesn't have to feel rushed out of work to not care for the patients that they need because their children need their care.
I believe that we have the best child care center, learning and development center for children in the state of Montana now. It is a huge help to us for recruitment and retention and for our community.
It's a school we're running, essentially. Not just a little child care center, but an early childhood development and learning school because of the Zinns.
I think it's pretty obvious why the Zinns give back. Both DeLona and Ray recognize the life that they've had and the opportunities they've had. They will tell you are blessings and gifts from God, and that they have an obligation, a great desire to give back, just as they've been given so much. And that's inspirational, I think, to everyone to recognize a charitable heart.
They are so generous and kind. They'll always be helping. I'm a beneficiary of their kindness and commitment. In my case, it was through the college. Now it's through St. Peter's Health. Ray and DeLona's decision to settle down in the Helena community has forever changed the community. I hope they know how impactful their legacy will forever be.
Well, we don't feel that we deserve anything. In fact, this is kind of out of our comfort zone to receive accolades for something that we feel so passionately and so happy to be doing. We don't expect to get recognition or applause from anybody. And so this is kind of a little bit out of our comfort zone.
You know, when he asked me, do we think we helped? I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, it's yes, sure, I think we helped. Now, obviously, we've helped, but I don't want to make it like, it's because of us. It's not a matter of how much you donate in dollars. It's how much you are willing to give in your time and effort to promote something or to help something. As I say, many hands make less work. And then not worrying about taking the round of applause for what you've done.